I mean, what the hell's going on? I mean, welcome to Past the Rings 155. Today we're talking about the Yarostan Aleska split cassette that came out April 2019? April 4th, 2019. So, let's do it! Alright, so basically, yes, the US store had essentially opened maybe a few months prior to this, like four to 6 months. So I mean, like, there were more people buying stuff from ZBR, but it was still very difficult to fund things. So as more and more awesome bands just kept hitting me up, I had a bit of a predicament where I couldn't really do all the releases that I wanted to do anymore. Now, I knew that both of these bands had new LPs coming out. They had both contacted me about them. They both had also said that they had other labels involved to take care of the vinyl. It's kind of just like, do you want some copies? And my bank account said, no, you don't want any copies. I'm sorry. So I like these albums so much, though, that I was like, ooh, maybe if we just do a tape, and then, ooh, what if we just do one tape with both bands? Because to be completely honest, these two bands are super similar. And they're from, like, pretty much the same area as well, over in Europe. So I believe they're both from France. So it just made so much sense to me, monetarily speaking, and in terms of the sound. Very, very screamy, very bit of post-rock going in there. You've got like some like crustier, heavier bits. I mean, like, I would liken Aleska to the more post-rock stuff. So you've got well, you kind of have the more of the two extremes. So you get some like Moving Mountains, atmospheric post-rock stuff, and then you've got like the much heavier, like Ditro could go both ways, but also Potence, which is ex-Ditro and is pretty much only the heavier stuff. And then with Yarostan, I feel like they both incorporate some singing too. So you've got like 12XU and Baton Rouge kind of thing going on there too, because they've got that like sing-along, almost like punk thing going on, and it works really well for both of them. I guess maybe Tenyu would fit with Yarostan, but then you could also argue that it probably fits with Aleska too. So enough blah 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 about that. They're both really good, take a lot of influence from Ditro. And yeah, both albums are awesome. Yarostan comes in with 5 tracks, and Aleska came in with 8. Yarostan is first, as well as the tape. So let's take a look at these quickly. Obviously, we've put the 2 covers as one. You know what? Let's go ahead and do this first. So when I was in Europe on tour with Swallow's Nest, I met one of the members of Aleska in Metz, actually. They came to our B&B and dropped off like 10 records and a bunch of shirts, which I thought I kept one. I can't find it. I definitely realized quickly that European mediums, number 1, are quite small, and number 2, almost always shrink in the wash. So almost every shirt that I got on tour in Europe is way too small for me. So, you know, be likely to see Lisa walking around with a bunch of those 6 shirts. So anyway, they did the 12-inch, obviously, and really, really, really good stuff. Yarostan's still going pretty strong, and we released them on Sync as well. So I feel like that's a much more well-known band because they're still doing a lot of stuff. But if you like Ditro and you like Yarostan, you should definitely check out Aleska, because that album in particular is absolutely fantastic. And then there's the Yarostan 12-inch that I have for myself. So the tapes, we merged the 2 covers. Dave Cullen merged the 2 covers at my request, and we did 54 tapes. So there's 30 on the solid silver metallic, just the sticker on each side, and 4 test dips and 20 swirl, and I guess all of the swirl also come in the swirl case as well. So these are my personal copies. I think there maybe is 1 silver left in the Canada store, but otherwise we are sold out. And honestly, it looks really nice. Yeah, sweet. So I was able to match the cover art I don't know. I guess maybe just a little bit. Yeah, not really. Now that I look at it, it just looked really nice. So, what else do I want to say here? I want to say that this was still, that's why these look so nice. This was still in the time when I was early on and doing 1 tape per dip. So this picks up, you know, a substantial amount more paint. Now I use a big bucket with a bunch of paint, but I mean, like, when it's 1 tape per dip, it picks up an insane amount. So these all look really, really nice. Now, I also came to the conclusion for this release that I needed something to properly fold the J-cards. For I printed the J-cards myself with my new printer at that point, and I think this is the first tape that I actually like fully tried to do. So I needed to, I'm like, well, how do people make the folds? And it's like, oh, it's a scoring board. So I went out and I got a scoring board for like 30 bucks. And I still use the exact same one, and it's pretty obvious because there's the spine. So it gets pretty easy over time when you use these things. Yeah, if you didn't know about scoring boards, super helpful when trying to do anything to do with J-cards. You might as well just, like, I don't even know, put on the ground and step on it otherwise, because your folds aren't going to line up and be perfect and all that jazz. So, oh, this was also 70-minute plus tape. So when everything was kind of said and done, I hadn't done a tape that long, and I didn't realize that you pay more, obviously, for the size of the reel. I mean, it makes total sense. The reel is longer, it takes longer to duplicate, blah, blah, blah. So I think the cost on these was way more than I was expecting. And there's 12 inches out there, so another reminder, oh, maybe don't do tapes of stuff that has 12 inches, because the 12 inches always sell better. We sold every 12 inch that we got in for the distro, and we got both of those releases in for distro. But like I said, there's still like 1 or 2 tapes left in the Canada store. So please take these off my hands, because they're absolutely fantastic, and I won't be making any more of them anyway. So literally 1 or 2 left forever. Is that it? I feel like that's it. Both of these bands are excellent, and this split release, 2 releases, whatever the hell you want to call it, absolutely fantastic. Check that shit out. It's so good, and it's free on Bandcamp too. So yeah. Oh shit, what's next? Oh, I do believe next it's the Blue Noise second demo thing. So we'll be doing that. Until next time. Oh my god. What is my life?